We on. Ain't even no intro this time.
We just
Ain't
here.
even no intro this time.
Oh, welcome to Woman Crush Everyday.
What's up?
Where we talk about queer media, especially when it is black and especially when it is woman. I am Shantae, aka Sean B. Scribe, aka Tang.
I am Allison, aka Al Wu.
And we are going to talk about the L Word Generation Q episode 7, season 2.
Boom.
Boom.
All right, yo. True story, y'all.
Shout outs. Let's start with some shout outs.
We're starting with shout outs.
So we have to give a shout out to our new subscribers. So Marissa Ramirez and Kadeen Kinsale, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Enjoy the conversation.
And feel like you're at home. You know, leave unless you like nasty at home. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Let's jump into favorite moment.
No, okay. See,
What
now
do you
you're making
mean?
it weird.
What do you mean?
I just meant like be welcome, be comfortable, but you know, like if it's like bad energy, like you know, we're like a good, happy family over here. That's what I meant by that.
Okay,
we're a good, happy family over here.
So if you bringing bad energy, don't bring that here.
Don't bring bad energy.
That
and I don't sense that because you're already rocking with us. You know what I mean?
Bam.
So, bada boom. See,
Yes.
see. All right. Love y'all. Let's get into episode 7 before I say anything else crazy.
Okay, let's do it. Favorite moment. What was your favorite moment?
So 2 moments stood out to me in this episode in particular as favorite moments. One, I think the first one was Carrie and Bet. That conversation between them was, I love it. One, I just love whoever like is writing Bet's language.
Yeah,
really has mastered the art of sass, and I am eternally like that's the person I want to be when I grow up. Like knows exactly what to say, how to shut it down, how to address it appropriately. Well, I mean, Bet be fucking up too, but
she does. In
this moment, that was so bad, bitch.
She cut into her with class.
She's like, I'm not going there with you. Okay, a little context for the moment. Carrie approaches Bet, really trying to make, I guess she wants some sort of validation from Bet. She wants to be accepted by Bet because she's marrying Tina and I guess admires Bet. So she wants to know that she has her blessing. And Bet just like, that's stupid.
You don't need me.
Why? The fact that you need that just tells me that you got other things you need to work on that have nothing to do with me. You're using me as like the reason you need that or whatever. But like, look, please move on. And I thought that was a really hilarious moment.
Absolutely. I don't know what Carrie thought she was going to get out of this moment, because was Bet going to be like, yeah, I totally want you to be with Tina. I'm totally in support of that and love that. Like, no, Bet would never say that. Also, the fact that you are so insecure. I wouldn't want you to be with my baby mama. Hello, I had a child with this person. No, you're not good enough. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. So, yeah, I don't know what Carrie was hoping for, but she got her life handed to her, and then Bet walked away like, enjoy your drink, enjoy your time.
Yeah, I mean, it was too much, though. Like, Carrie asked for that, like, hoeing. Like, she asked for that roast so hard. Bet kept saying, like, and I think it's funny, I always love seeing Bet give people the opportunity to leave the roast. Like, okay, all right, you can.
Are you sure?
You sure you want this roast? I'm like, no, yeah, I want it. Come bring it on. She's like, all right. Wow. I was like, oh God, Bet again. So yeah, Bet with the TK. I loved it. There's that. What's up, JT? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for the info too.
And I don't know if you say this, Maisha, probably Maisha. Either way it goes. She did her thing on this
fire.
I thought
fire
this
episode.
Was so far, hands down, easily my favorite episode of the season.
I don't know if this one's my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite might be the one where Bet goes off on Gigi.
That was
Angie
beautiful.
finds out about her father.
That was beautiful.
Like the whole therapy thing between Angie and Carrie and all of them. Oh my god,
That was my favorite episode up until this episode.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And I'll say this. You know what? I was telling you this earlier that I think what's really dope about this season, or I don't know, maybe I'm just getting deeper into the show. I don't know, but I feel like this season, every single episode, I have fallen into the show more. Like, I've appreciated the story more. I think that they're doing a really great job of just building, leading us through this. Because of the first episode, I was pissed. I was like, what? Finley breaking up marriages, this is what we still doing in 2021. Yeah. I'm over that. But the way that the story is going, I'm like, I don't know. I like this. So good job,
y'all. We've come to is a good place. Shout out to Laundry Day for joining us. And yeah, it was scary. Yeah, Carrie is on the brink. Mm-hmm. Carrie is on the brink. I'm really glad that Shane kind of saw like she's in some kind of, help group, addiction group. And Carrie might have an overeating thing, but clearly we saw the addictions. The coping mechanisms stretch beyond eating, and there's a lot happening underneath the surface. And I wonder how much Tina knows about all of this. Yeah. I'm hoping lots. Yeah. It seems like they have a very open, honest relationship, but I wonder how much does she need to use these coping mechanisms when Tina is around.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You had a second favorite moment. Hey, T. Christian, welcome to the chat.
I don't know. Maybe I'll get into that in a second.
Okay. I think my favorite moment, I had a few favorite moments, but I think the one I'm landing on is between Angie and her half-sister. And I think Angie just needed that moment of like, my girlfriend doesn't get it. There's something that she doesn't get. She's still in teen world, and the world has opened up so much bigger for me. And then her sister immediately understood that, even though for her, it's like, I have a half sister, but it's not the same as like, I'm meeting my donor dad. Mm-hmm. That's a new level. And for her sister to immediately understand like Jordy's point of view of like, y'all, we're all teenagers. That does sound really fun to just be thinking about parties and prom. But also like, what do you need? What do you need from me? And for Angie to be able to just have this conversation with a peer, not an adult this time, that's like, yeah, you have complex needs, and yeah, that's valid. That's valid. I thought that was so important and so beautifully done. And it was a really short scene, but it helped to put in context everything else that happened with Jordy later, and like why that was also joy producing, but to still know there's this little seed of something like, I'm a teenager realizing that there's more to relationship than just having fun, I think is a moment that I don't know that I can always pinpoint for myself, of realization of like, I need somebody who can spiritually, emotionally be there for me, not just, we have fun and get on TikTok together.
Yeah, these over the top moments. I was almost concerned. I was concerned for a hot second that Jordy was going to reveal at the end that this was actually some part of a bigger internet thing that she was trying to do, like make this a TikTok or show off or do something. So I'm really glad that the whole promposal was in earnest and so far in earnest and just like, hey, so yeah, because I definitely thought it was a wrap for that relationship.
Yeah, I mean, Angie came in there ready to break up with her, like over with.
She killed it.
She did.
It's Jordy really did. Actually, I'm gonna leave that comment until we get to question number 4.
All right. So who was your woman crush?
Easily my woman crush for this episode was Queen Bet Porter. Queen Bet Porter came in styling as she always does, roasting so eloquently, not letting the bullshit get to her. The way she went and made it happen with Pippa. Yes, we finally reached the day with Bet and Pippa. And yeah, that beautiful scene. Bet is my woman crush of this episode. Boom, 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 boom. Go ahead. Who's your woman crush?
I have a split. It is between Pippa Pascal, who, I mean, undeniable. Pippa looks great. every look that Pippa gives Bet, I imagine it's actually me. She's actually looking at me in this way. No, it's just so... Yeah, Pippa is great. The whole scene on, the gallery floor with the lights and their whole, like, silhouette happening, that was really sexy. But Nat was serving it. She was like, I'm out here. I'm single, sexy, and free. I have brunch to go over child caring details with my ex-wife. And my ex-girlfriend knows that I look great, and she's going to let me bang her in this drop-top Jeep.
Oh, bang her. That is so wild. Yo, the sex that happened in this episode, it definitely got... I thought that we had, like, maxed out on sex scenes a couple episodes ago. No. But, like, no, we added, like, 3 more sex scenes in this episode. It was amazing. That Nat Alice scene with her busting out the top of the sunroof. I'm like, y'all are silly, bro. Another silly ass moment that I thought was so funny was when Shane like subtly burned Alice off that blue tux.
That Dumb and Dumber.
When she said, "Have you seen Dumb and Dumber?" That was great. That was really great.
Yes, vintage inspiration. Bet is the forever woman crush. I mean,
yeah. I mean, honestly, if they did a show called Bet,
we would probably all watch it.
I will be watching Bet like a motherfucker. Like,
yes.
Okay, I will watch the shit out of Bet. Okay.
I'm waiting for it. The B word. Is it coming?
The B word! That was great. That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. I'm going to watch the B word. For sure.
All right. So what can stay and what can go?
I really feel like at this point in the season, I am fully vested in everything that's happening. I don't want anything to go. I don't want anything to go, but I think this story has moved to a place where I just want more. I just want to see what happens next between all of these couples and all these relationships. So yeah, this episode I can't even call what should go. Everything should stay. Keep going.
The writers, y'all got her.
Y'all got me this time.
She's hooked.
I'm hooked. It is what it is. What'd you think?
I'm still... This episode gave me more Tess and Shane, and it was nice to see Tess and Shane really helping with Carrie. I think you brought that up earlier, just like that whole interaction was beautiful. I don't care about Tess and Shane being together, but now that they finally kissed, I feel like I'm accepting it. They're going to be a thing. I'm not mad at it. I don't think they should be business partners. I still wonder if there's some weird stuff happening underneath the surface there. But I guess I'm starting to care about them more. If Tess and Shane went away, I wouldn't be mad. I only care about Ben and Alice at this point. Because Kiara hasn't come back, and I think ultimately I wanted to see more of that story play out with Shane. Yeah. So if Shane and Tess' story goes away, oh well. I want to know what's going on with Micah. I want Micah to come back. I want to see what happens with Gigi and Danny, because the fact that Gigi called out Danny, like, you've dated it was an exaggeration. She hasn't dated all her friends, but you've dated enough people in my circle that I know that you move flavor of the week type, and that's fine. But am I the next flavor, or are you trying to have something real with me, because I really don't have time for that roller coaster?
Mm-hmm. Yo, I had to laugh. I'm sorry, I just saw this vintage inspiration. Nat and Alice going back and forth can definitely go.
It can. Yo. It seemed like Alice did that.
That's real.
And I felt bad for Nat because she really thought like this was happening again. But Nat was looking good this episode. I can see how she wiggled her way back in.
Yeah, she did. She pulled it off to one side. She like, look, I'm serving new looks. I'm serving new looks. I heard you was fucking men now, but what's up?
Moves.
What's up? You switching it up?
Yeah, Alice was like, oh, you've never done that before. And she's like, you like that?
Totally. Yo, I feel like I do wanna. Nope. I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna try to hold it. I really hope I don't forget what I'm thinking right now.
Well, we're about to go into where does this episode fit in the queer canon?
Okay. It is so funny to me. I feel like, okay, sometimes it irritates me that the L Word has so many stories running concurrently. Like, I mean, you look at the cast, when you look at like the screenshot, and you see every character in the show, and it's just like, yeah, there is so many stories to follow. This is crazy. So a part of me, it makes me sad that we can't go deeper with a lot of the characters. You know, that the stories can't go deeper. We're really trying to touch on a whole bunch of things. But at the same time, I really appreciate where we go and the things that we see. Like, how often do we get to see lesbian team promposals? Where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? And like, not even was this like just a regular like, hey, will you go meet to prom? It was like very elaborate.
Yeah.
Like, she pulled out all the stops to make.
She
like,
had 2 umbrellas. Where they even hide
really,
those second
you know what I'm saying?
umbrellas?
Like, yeah,
we don't even know where they came from.
See, I was like, that's magic.
It was.
She pulled a magic trick for this promposal, and that's where it's like, that's cute. That's beautiful. Thank you for the queer teens and the gabies who need to see that, like, these magical stories of love and all of that. Cool, that can happen. But, and I saved this till the end, but one of my favorite parts of this or moments of this episode was the conversation between Carrie and Alice. Carrie and Alice had this hilarious conversation where Carrie starts talking about Alice breaking ground on being a lesbian talk show host and saying like, that's never been done before.
That was great.
And I'm like, Rosie O'Donnell was totally a talk show host.
Yes. She had the Rosie
In fact,
O'Donnell
I
show.
used to watch the Rosie O'Donnell show every fucking day, but this was pre-Rosie O'Donnell as lesbian. So, like, that deep joke, I think, I
beautiful.
loved
She's like,
it.
No one before her. You're breaking down.
Yeah, you're
Nobody did this before
like,
Ellen.
Ellen, you know, I guess so. But I just thought that was such a funny moment. So yeah, just to shout out the fact that we've had lesbians who are talking to the public, who are hilarious, who are public icons, who are all of these things. Like, it's been something that has been going on, and I like how they just use that moment to remind us that lesbians have been here. Yeah, the whole time, and but now we're in a place where you can be a lesbian on TV, that you can have a show, say you're a lesbian, and have a successful program. And, when Rosie was on, that couldn't happen. It just it couldn't happen. So shout out for pulling that full circle. I just say that was my second favorite moment, and also that is where I think it really fits in the queer canon. I thought that was really dope.
I do want to say that. Every time I see Carrie as a character, she makes me think of Sadness from Inside Out, the movie.
Oh.
She just reads like Sadness so much, where she's just like going on talking. Like, I need to talk to somebody. I don't realize like how pessimistic this is actually going, or how much like I'm draining your energy. Yeah. But I have to say this, I'm really just being myself, and I think it's so funny. I mean, it's also not funny because I'm, worried about Carrie. She's not quite stable. But this episode in particular, I was like, this is Sadness. If Sadness had access to alcohol, that's what the Inside Out would have been. This is what
Inside Out would have been about. Yeah.
But so one thing that I do think is important for keeping Tessa's character around is the juxtaposition between the characters who are dealing with addiction. Like, we have Finley, who is pulled over by the cops, and we don't know what she's done, but she's definitely been drinking. Her and Sophie have been drinking. She keeps saying to Sophie that she's drunk, which makes me think that like Finley is so much more aware of her inebriation and when she's like in addiction mode. Then we have Tess, who is going to addiction classes. And working for a bar, managing a bar and dealing with that addiction at the same time. And then we have Carrie, who obviously is failing terribly at the management. I won't want to say terribly, but, because she didn't she was able to get home. She had friends close by,
Yeah.
fortunately. She made sure chaperones were on deck. People she knows, even though she's insecure with them. But just the way that you can see how that manifests in different ways with people, I think is really important for the conversation, to not make this monolithic story of addiction, but like really how does it intertwine and play within life, and how are different partners being a support or, you know, a crutch in ways, you know, how does lesbian life even play into that? And like all of the gatherings that they've had have centered around alcohol. And I know that's been a thing talked about in like queer community, is like every event being centered around something that is prone to addiction. And, you know, what does that mean for building community, especially when you have people bringing trauma with them to the party? So I just am interested in how all of these different stories continue to unroll and play out.
Yeah, I don't know. I had such a blast this episode. I think there were so many little moments that there were just so many really fun. No, I can't let this episode go without talking about how much I really did appreciate, in a way that I haven't appreciated, Shane, Tess, Carrie, like the way they wrapped them in, like that care, that taking her home, the tea spillage that happened when she was drunk as hell, and tells Tess and Shane that she doesn't think she can marry Carrie. Tina. Thank you. Carrie doesn't think she can marry Tina.
Oh my God, what would you do if your closest friend's fiance said, "I can't marry your friend"? They're telling you this in a drunken stupor, and they're saying, "I don't feel this insecure tonight. I feel this way all the time."
All the time. Yeah, that was.
And you about to marry my friend?
That was
like
tough.
Oh my God,
that was tough. It was, yeah.
Do you get in the middle? You know, does this blow up? Like, no, they were just drunk. Do you send like a text to your friend, like, check in on your boo?
This ain't it. I mean, honestly, Shane being so aware, and it's like, hey, look, I know that's the Alcoholic Anonymous spot. Okay, yeah. So chill on that. Not only are you an alcoholic, but now at this point, she's a liar. You know, so I think Tess and Shane have more ammo to say,
no, Tina.
Yo, your girl is wildin'. And the way she's coming at Bet, you know, because Bet's going to have her own version of the story. You know, maybe Alice could cape for her in some sort of capacity, but like, I don't know. I just thought that was a cool moment. I just feel like I had to mention it and just say, the bomb drop that Carrie, you know,
terrible,
laid out at the end of the episode was, I really want to know where do we go with that?
Yeah. I thought it was funny too, going back to your comment about Rosie O'Donnell having her own talk show, and Alice is like, well, do you want tickets to the show? And she's like, I've never been on a talk show. Never.
That was so epic, yo. That was so epic, because I watched the fuck out of Rosie O'Donnell's show. Like, I feel like, I don't know how many people watch that show either. I mean, I feel like everybody, like a lot of people watch the show, but this was also like between my Missouri and Detroit days. So it's like,
did it get 2 years, 3 years?
What were those little balls that she would throw? The little goof balls that would go. I love those things.
You really did watch it.
Let me tell you.
I don't even remember all this.
She had the goof balls that she threw out in the crowd every episode, and then she also talked about Tom Cruise like every episode, and that was weird as hell. But yeah, no, I was a fan. I really watched the hell out of that show, so I really loved that moment.
Hey, I love it. I do wish Gigi would have knocked on the window, Jag T. When Gigi caught Alice and Nat fucking in the car, and she mentioned to Danny, like, I almost knocked on the window, and I was like, you should have.
Yeah. That'd
have been classic Danny. Or classic Gigi.
They can't even. It was so much to fit into this episode. Like,
they did their best. They did their best. Okay, so I see Nat and T go back and forth.
What's up? Thanks for joining us, Paige.
Hey, Paige. And Christian T. I don't know if we call her either. Oh, Christian T. was up at the up higher somewhere.
Okay. Well, hey y'all. Oh, T. Christian. Boom.
Yes. So. Bet does always give a warning to people. She always lets you know she's not gonna tolerate the bullshit.
I love it.
She's not gonna tolerate it. The way she shut it down. Also, that lighting, the lighting for her scene with Pippa.
That was
in
fire.
The art exhibit,
actually,
I was shocked that Bet allowed that to happen because she's normally. I thought she would have been like, "This is art. Like, we're not gonna." But it was just lights.
Let me tell you, I think they could totally have sex in the gallery. Where they lost me with like, wait a second. Sleeping, like, the sex on the gallery floor.
You like...
I don't know, man. That would have totally just dried it up down here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, on the floor, though? You ain't got a couch in the back? Something. Anything. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. The on the floor, the lights were sexy. Don't get me wrong.
Very sexy.
But the cold sleeping on the icy floor, I have. Y'all make too much money.
What I think happened is the gallery is closed. Custodial staff had come in, sanitized the floor. I don't know if it seems like we're living in a non-COVID world, so it's clean, it's good. The floors were
sanitized, is what you're saying.
I think the floors were sanitized. I think they were sanitized. I don't think Pippa would stand for that.
That was nasty. That's just where I was at. I was completely distracted. And I'm like, I would rather, like, have sex on the grass. Have sex. I don't know why. Like, actually being on dirt is more sexy than having sex on the gallery floor. That just, yuck. I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't like that.
Christian said there's nowhere for them to go. Angie was at home.
Hilarious.
I think Angie has heard a bed hookup before, unfortunately.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
She's heard
the way bed
coming
down.
over.
Yeah, it was wild. But I don't know. I think that's the long and short of the episode.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
For me.
No, it was good.
Y'all, we love what's happening in the conversations. Love what's happening in the chat. Wait, they had to get it in? yo.
I
was like,
we've been waiting for this.
Thank you, Paige. Yes, it would have been a no for me, dog. Like, you gotta, this is cute. Thank you. Oh, turn the lights on. Okay, now where are we going next?
She should have brought a blanket or something. A blanket would have been nice. A jacket down, maybe a blazer on the ground.
Something.
Whatever.
Something better. Yeah, something better than the floor. I don't know. And that wasn't hot to me. And then they were actually like, also, let's just add to it, they laid on the floor.
They did lay on
when
the
they
floor.
went and showed the shot and they like that aerial shot and they were like coming up. And I'm like, wait, y'all still on the floor?
First of all, that's not even comfortable. And everybody knows it. These are women in their 50s. They're not laying on the floor. They're not going to lay on the floor.
This is all I'm saying.
Because the next morning, you'd be like, what was I thinking? They totally went and found a couch, a bed,
I know this
a
is
rolling
called
chair,
Generation
something.
Q, but this is boomer sex, okay?
Like, let me tell you.
Go get to the bed, man. Like, they not sleeping on that floor, man. They not doing this on the floor. Get them in a bed, man. Show some respect to these queens. Yes. Anyway.
So let us know what y'all thought in the chat. What were your favorite moments?
Yeah.
Who was your woman crush? What do you want to stay and go? And then, where do you think this fits in the larger conversation of queer media? Are they giving us what we need? Or can they keep it? I think they're giving, but excited to see what y'all got to say.
I think they're giving. I'm so excited. So excited. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Again, we want to shout out Bread House for hosting us. Beats, Rhymes, Everything Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
You can follow them on Instagram at Bread, B-R-E-B. There we go. B-R-E-D, the number 4, anything on Instagram. And
follow Woman Crush on Instagram too.
Yep.
womxncrush.everyday with the X instead of the E for woman. And shout out to Detroit. It's Pride Weekend, so we about to hit up some Detroit lesbian social event.
Yo, Detroit's lesbian scene is lightweight banging these days. Okay,
Poppin'.
like I was concerned back in the day, but like now it's
Beyond,
banging.
y'all.
So hey, we're about to go turn up and go enjoy Pride. Yeah, in a second. So I don't know.
All right. Peace.